This is my worst outdoors experience. There we were, last Mother's Day, kayaking down a very familiar river, and it's me, my brother, my sister. I'm missing a character, but that's for the story, it's fine. So this is what happened, right? So we're floating down this river, and we come around this corner. The river bottlenecks, like that. And then there's these branches that were hanging down all crazy. It was kind of bad. Like I said, the water was a little bit higher, so these branches were a little bit closer to the water. Kind of created this fence that you didn't want to go through. So my brother, he goes first, and he kind of does this little limbo thing to get under it. These branches, I mean, they were hitting you, and we weren't really sure how deep this water was here. We just knew it was going fast. So my brother kind of gets through, but just barely. And then my parents start to go through. This is my brother, he went through. This is my parents, that's my sister, and this is me. I'm back paddling, I'm watching this whole thing go down. I'm the last one to go through. My mom gets her shirt stuck on these overhanging branches. This is an overhead view, by the way. So here's the river, land on both sides, it bottlenecks. My parents get stuck, and my sister just gets kind of pulled by the current. What happens is bam, she hits them. Now when she hits them, she flips and she goes into the water. I see her flip and I don't see her come back up. That's what happened, and it freaked me out. So I go into superhero mode and I'm like, I'll save you. And I know I drew her hair, but I really couldn't see her. I had no idea where she went, but this is me, frightened. So I bail, I jump out. I had no idea where anybody else was at this point. I just jumped out into the water. It was all a reaction, like I had to get my sister. I've seen the power of water. I've seen water 2 feet deep pull people under and get stuck under a log. And my worst fear was that she got pulled by the current and got stuck underwater somewhere. I just went into this mode of reacting. It was crazy and it was very scary. This was my sister and I had no idea where she was. I thought she was underwater, and I know I only had so much time. This is the part where the branches were. This is the land. This is me swimming to her. I bail out. I'm trying to swim because the water took me straight past this part where I thought she was. And I'm trying to swim to her, but after maybe like 5 or 10 seconds, I realized there's no way I was gonna be able to fight this current and swim up it. So what do? I swim diagonally across the river onto this little peninsula, and I run all the way back up. When I remember swimming over and like looking at my watch because I was trying to keep track of time, like, okay, how long has she been under the water? This is the amount of time I got. What kind of risk do I have to take to get to her? Because in my mind, I think she's like somewhere under here. I had no idea where she was. So I pull myself up onto this bank. I mean, I was already exhausted from trying to swim. Your adrenaline is pumping. At the same time, I was so observant to my surroundings and things that were happening. I remember this little snake that I almost stepped on. I was barefoot, by the way, so I'm running through this wooded brush, and I run all the way up. And up here, where the water kind of bends around, there's this tree sticking out of the ground. I remember thinking to myself, like, okay, I got to get far enough away from the tree, but not too far because I don't want to waste time. And what has to happen is I have to jump in, swim straight out, so I miss this tree because I don't want to get pinned by the tree either. So I jump in, swim around. This time I grab onto the branches that were dangling down. I'm sitting there and I'm reaching and I'm screaming her name. I'm kicking, I'm trying to feel with my feet, where is she? I don't know how much time passed, but it seemed like enough time to where I didn't find her there. And one of the hardest things I've ever had to do was like let go of those branches, because it was almost like I was giving up on my sister. So my next thought was, okay, I'm gonna let go and I'm gonna make myself really big, because if the current took her anywhere, it's gonna take me in the same direction. I'm floating down the river and I'm screaming her name, and it was just, I had this helpless feeling. I don't know how to explain it. I've never felt, I honestly thought my sister had drowned, but the thought of like letting go, being helpless, it hits you deep, and I didn't know what to do. By this point, my brother and my mom and dad, they're downriver a little ways, probably a good 100 yards, and I yell out, I'm like, just call 911, and they're like, what? They thought I was hurt. But then out of the blue, I heard my sister yell my name. She was like, Jake, and I'm like, what? I felt so relieved because I knew she was somewhere safe, like she heard me. and I knew I was okay. I remember she paddles over to me, and like one of the first things she said was, "I'm sorry I lost your GoPro," and I was like, "Kayla, I don't care. As long as you're safe, the GoPro, it's fine." So if you're in Cook or Will County and you're on the DuPage River and you come across a GoPro, please message me. That'd be nice. I would like my GoPro back. It's been 1 year. Who knows how the footage is on there? I don't know. But anyway, this was kind of just a really crazy experience of me being outside, just kind of a family event really, and it kind of took a weird turn and I was super shooken up by it. It was a really freaky moment. With that being said, it did teach me some things about myself, and I learned some lessons. One, again, never underestimate the power of water. Like I said, just 2 feet of water can 2 feet of water can drown you. Never underestimate water. I hate water, but kayaking is fun. Also, be prepared. You gotta be like mentally ready for any kind of situation. Things happen all the time, and it is super important to be prepared. Thirdly, endurance. I believe in being fit and ready for whatever you have to dip your feet into. I think it's important. I don't think if I had endurance, I would have been able to make it through that situation and make the decisions I made as fastly as I made them. These are lessons I learned. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this story. Thank you for watching. Now, again, go check out Andy's channel, Pi's channel, Neemor on the World, Cesar, and Darwin on the trail. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. A little different this time, a little serious, but again, this was my worst outdoors experience. All the other guys are gonna be doing their worst experience that they've had. I encourage you to check them out. Check out our last video that we did together. It went really well. So thank you guys, and we'll see you next time.